Hurry up.
Sunday morning. I'm up bright and early on my only day off during the month of February. But, you know, time doesn't stop for anybody. I'm going to take full advantage of it. It's going to be a full day. It's going to be a beautiful day. And I'm just excited. And the reason I wanted to drop this really quick video is because I'm on my way to do something that honestly always kind of gives me a little bit of nerves and a little bit of excitement at the same time. The excitement is because at the end of the day, I'm growing my inventory. At least I'm trying to grow my inventory to be more of a well-rounded, complete party event rental company, inflatable company. But the only way you can do that is you got to fill in those gaps of the things that you have or you don't have. And one of the gaps that I didn't have until today, of course, I finally found somebody on our beloved Facebook Marketplace, which I'll expound upon that in a minute, the reason why I call it beloved. But I'm going to pick up some much needed inventory that will actually allow me to provide an absolute more full experience. So a person who needs certain things, you know, like I've had some requests like, hey, I want a bounce house from you, and I also want a popcorn machine, and I also want tables and chairs, and I also want a tent, and I also want some games. And that's a part of this game that you want to get into, that you don't want to just pigeonhole yourself into just one thing, which is just inflatables. Inflatables in and of itself, like I told you in the first place, is what brought me into this business, because I just love, how something so, what you would seem in its simplest form, simple, but when you blow that thing up and you see the colors and you see the size of it, the magnitude of it, and the sheer joy that it brings to kids and myself included, it's just undeniable. But at the end of the day, when you're throwing an event, be it a party or a graduation party, a welcome home party, a going away party, a Christmas party, a Halloween party, a business convention, a youth home, or a daycare, and the list is on and on and on. It's actually endless that what you can do in the inflatable business. People just really are kind of shortchanging themselves if you allow your vision to stay here. I mean, there's really, truly levels to this game, and I'm trying to go beyond the roof of even my previous thinking. But anyway, the reason why I'm dropping this video in the first place is because this is what I'm doing right now, and that is going to get something for my business, which leads me to what I said before, our beloved Facebook Marketplace. I tell you, man, you can find so much stuff out there. Great deals. The problem is, and I'm going to share some stories with you, is what happens when you go to Facebook Marketplace sometimes. Early on, and when I had first started, I had, I got lucky. Facebook Marketplace blessed me with my first 4 inflatables. They're great renters. People love them till this day. They love them. And, so I figured, wow, I struck gold right off the top, first purchase. So my second would be purchase, because I had done so much research. Was like, man, I got to get this dolly, man. I got to get this power dolly. Even though I got a dolly with those 4 units, I already knew, just because I got that one, that was just for now. That was like an immediate. Like if somebody want to contact me, I'm good. I can move this stuff around. This is even before I even got my LLC. Before I even got my LLC, I was just planning to get my inventory together. And I came across a post for an electric dolly, knowing full well that everything that I had researched said these dollies range anywhere from $2,500 all the way up to $5,000 and more, depending on the scale of the business that you're trying to accomplish. So I knew that even with the units that I had already had, I wanted something that was strong. So this post was for a were selling it. And so when I researched it, it was a Rosal. And so I was like, wow, I'm about to steal a Rosal for $17.50. And they claim it was only a year old. Picture were pristine. I paid attention to the background. I don't even know what gave me the insight to pay attention to the background of where they were posting this thing. So I made contact with the person. They were like, yeah, I'm in such a city. And I'm like, wow, you're only like 20 minutes away from me. I mean, it was like a dream come true. It wasn't like something I had to travel really far to. I could get to it relatively quickly. So, we made plans to meet. And, through back and forth and scheduling conflicts, things kept changing, but something just started striking a nerve with me. Something started striking a chord, like something really odd here. Something's just not right. And so one day, I was like, hey, are you available today? He's like, oh yeah, definitely. I'll be available. I'll just throw a number. I'll say 2 o'clock. I'm like, all right, cool. All right. So I'll meet you at 2. So what I did, considering the fact that this person was so close to me, I'm going to go earlier. I just want to scope the area out. I got the address. I drove out at 12. And when I got to the address, lo and behold, the address he gave me didn't match the picture in the photo where the dollar was supposed to be. In fact, it was at a house that was for sale. The layout was absolutely nothing. I mean, it was like nothing lined up. I mean, absolutely nothing lined up with this person. And so what I did while I was sitting in front of the house, didn't tell him I was there. I was just like, hey, I was able to get off early, and actually in the area, I left and had to go to the store, but I'll be right back. I'm like, okay. So I sat there for a minute and waited. Radio silence. Nothing. Got no contact back. So I already knew it was like, okay, this is a scam. And this is the point of the story that I'm telling. Scams, man. It is I always preach how great the community is. The community is awesome. But the scammers are lurking, dude. The scammers are insane. And when I'm telling you, there are a lot of people that have been scammed on Facebook, the Facebook Marketplace, until it isn't funny. And it makes this whole situation just horrible, the scammers. So my message to you, if it doesn't feel right, don't be afraid or offended to challenge the validity of the sale. Don't hesitate. Like, hey man, how do I know this is real? I mean, I've got people, of course, I can fix your credit in X amount of time. Send me $3,000. How do I know this is real? Send me money. I got these my favorite one is the people selling the sandbags, those vinyl covers that you usually get from like Hullabaloo or somebody, like these great sandbag covers, and they usually cost, I can't remember the number, so I won't even try, but they cost money. They're not cheap. I got a brand new sandbags, selling them for $5 a piece. It's a red flag. Already a red flag. It just so happened that was another scam that they tried to get me on. I had seen a previous post with the exact same picture. Basically, what I'm saying is that there's a lot of catfish in selling these things, these products. You gotta be careful, man. After all said and done, I'm not gonna tell you I was not a victim. I was a victim, and I lost probably about $200 overall. I lost $200 from scammers, and they preyed basically upon my being naive, being new, being ignorant to the game, and being hungry. Because I'm hungry. I stay hungry. I'm never, ever full. Ever. I'm never full. I'm always hungry. I'm always striving and driving for better and for more. And it's just the nature of me. Because if I'm ever full, then I don't ever continue to strive for greater. So, I stay hungry, and at that point, I was super, super hungry. I'm dropping money I'm dropping time. I'm dropping a lot of things. You know what I mean? My family isn't suffering because I make sure everything else is covered. While I do what I do, you know, everything else is covered. Everything, my bills are paid and all that other stuff. But still, you know, I'm sure what I'm doing over here, others would like for me to do over here. Well, what I'm trying to do over here is to bless over here. So I mean, you know, we got to do some giving and some taking here. We need some understanding, and I'll leave that there. But just be careful while you out here trying to grow your business, and you're not sure what it is that you're getting. You have to be careful. You got to be careful out here, man, because there's some scammers lurking. There's some great people. There's some great reputable suppliers. So if you get into those groups on Facebook and whatever industry that you're in, because on Facebook there is a group for whatever industry you're jumping. If you're into finance, if you're an attorney, I don't care what it is you're into, there is a group for you. And again, as I suggested before, get into those groups even before you start doing what you do. If they say, "Are you in business now?" Yep. Just get in the group, man. Learn the business, learn the ins and outs before you get in all the way. One that'll basically give you a head start on where a lot of people started, where they're trying to learn things based off their own thinking, not because they know anything. To just think this is how it works. You don't want to go in something thinking you know how it works. You want to know how it works. But get into the game, get into these groups, and most importantly, follow your gut. Your gut tells you a lot. Listen to your gut. Your gut is telling you something. And when it tells you something, don't be afraid if your gut led you wrong. Hey, you know, my apologies, and I'll tell a person in a heartbeat, hey, I have PTSD. I'm gun shy. I've been shot before on here. I've been scammed, and at the end of the day, now my guard is up, and I'm going to keep my guard up. You know, because I don't have time to play, and I certainly don't have money to waste. I don't have money to waste because I don't have